Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. This is your match reaction. Manchester United 1, Rangers 0. United move up to 4th in the league standings and all but seal automatic qualification. Now look, it's not done and dusted yet. We do still have, what are we? We're only a point above the ninth place, 2 points above the ninth place. But yeah, it's looking good. But as always, guys, we've got Chris and we've got Desi in with us. Yeah, look, people saying to me, why so down? Last minute goal and the whole lot. And like I said to you, I'm not getting too carried away with this performance. But Chris, let me know what you thought of it. I thought, again, it was another lackluster performance, one that we failed to control the game, didn't create anything again, and just as the game went on, just looked more nervous as the game went on, even when we took the lead.
Yeah, I guess I got a different,
No, off you go. No, you
like, we had Eriksson playing as a 10 with Garnacho. Bruno was dropping back a little bit. What I saw, was it the greatest performance? No, but at the same time, we played the ball we crossed the ball a lot more. Our number 10 stayed in the middle a lot more. Now, is Eriksson the best player for that? You know how I feel about him. He needs to move on and everything like that. But
yeah, I actually thought he played well tonight, in fairness to him.
I'm not going to say he played well, but he's not going to be a consistent player in the middle of the park there.
Absolutely.
But I thought Bruno played well playing next to Toby Collier. Toby Collier had a mistake in the very beginning of the game, lost the ball. You can't do that. Again, we started with Collier and Fernandez, or Collier and Bruno playing in front of the center backs, which isn't the strongest thing in the world. So with the team. But the one thing I did like is, we were crossing the ball into the box. We were doing things that we talked about last reaction that we weren't getting. Now, were they successful? No, but I think we had a little bit more opportunity because we put the ball in there. It wasn't just like out wide play and everything like that. Like, I like Ahmad playing the wing back and everything. And then, Garnacho, you said it in the live, the reports, Chelsea, Napoli, whatever. But let's be honest, like, whether he stays or goes, if he stays, he needs to learn a new position. So we have to be patient with him. So that means he's not going to start every game.
Yeah.
Because if he goes, we make some money. The question will be, who do you buy after him? Who do you buy to supplement the fact that he's gone? Do I want him to go? In my heart, no, but in my head, yes. Because, he truly doesn't fit the system. I'm sorry. It just, there's a lot of guys that don't fit the system, and we have to come to reality with that. And my only issue is that all the rumors that you hear and everything like that is the fact that we want to buy all these young players. And I understand that. But name a team that's competing in any competition, whether it be the top 4, the Champions League. Now we're fourth in the Europa League, but whatever. But, that are consistently playing 19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds and competing at a high level. None of them. There's none. So it's either we go young and we suffer until they're old enough that they're in their prime, or we sell some of our young talent to get somebody that's a little bit more in their prime, closer to the 24 to 25 years old. To the last report that I had, I would do this, and this is probably not going to be popular, is sell Garnacho to Napoli, add 15 million on, and bring Osimhen in. He's 25 years old. He's in his prime. I know it's not popular, but what do we say we need? We need a striker. Have
we gone down the experience route before? The Falcaos, the Di Marias, the Lukakus, the Zlatans. Have we not done that before?
Yeah, but where were they at? They were 28, 29, 30. Well, not 24, 25.
Yeah.
Lukaku's got rhino touch from the moment he stepped on the field. Like he's got a 6-yard touch. That's just. And don't get me wrong. Lukaku
we
did
don't
work out.
Have the metric system over here. Sorry.
3 meters, 2 meters away. But I mean,
But I get you. I get you.
I mean, the problem is, we can't. You have to go one way or the other, and either we're going to suffer or we're not, because we're not going to play. And this is no slight on Garnacho or Hoyland or Mainu or any of the younger guys. It's just the fact that they're not wonder. I mean, they're not wonder kids that are they're Lamine Yamal or anything like that. They're not that guy. So until they turn into that guy, we're going to suffer.
Yeah. Desi, give me your thoughts. What did you make of it?
Well, it's a win. we're back to winning ways. Look, Jack, we said there's going to be ups and downs, didn't we?
Yeah.
Last week was a big downer. I wouldn't say tonight is a big upper, but it's in the right direction.
Yeah.
Top first half, very poor. Second half, a little bit better. I did take notice that we were crossing the ball in. I like that Chris said that, because that was something that was frustrating the life out of me last week. It was like, we're getting there, put the ball in the mixer. Even if nothing comes off, Jack, we said it. Get the ball into the mixer, give us a chance, get the defenders on the back foot, and that's something that both wingers are doing today, like getting into the boiler and getting the box in. Also, I noticed as well when Maguire come on, I know he had that mistake, and look, I'm not going to be too hard on him because he's been very good for us, Jack. I don't think we can just go at him for that one. It could have cost us 2 points, but when he came on, I don't know what he is noticed. Like, he's playing that ball into Sexy. Sexy's dropping into the pocket, and it's looking to play off Fernandez or off Collier or whoever's playing in that position, and then maybe get wingers on the outside run for that ball. It just didn't come off, but I liked it. I don't know if it'll happen in every game, but I tell you what, and don't take this wrong, them passes are not easy, Jack.
No, they're not. And they break the first line of press from Rangers as well and leave them all over the place. Where are we now?
I've been saying it for a long time. I hate Maguire passing 5 yards, 10 yards. I love him passing a lot longer. At more than 15, 20, he can put it on the money. And they were on the ground. If you go back and watch it, some of it was straight on the money, into his feet, touch off, and then it just didn't go from there. But
well, the thing about him playing central like that is if you have him on either left or right, he tends to do what I was giving out about Martinez doing, tiptoeing the ball up the field really slow, and then stop and turn around and going back. At least when he's in the middle, he's boom, like tonight, he was breaking lines with his passing.
Yeah, and that's a big game changer, Jack, because if they can get that movement right or that link-up play right, you're taking players out of the game in one pass, and then all of a sudden, in 2 passes, you could be going for their goal. I think he's worked on that. It was nice to watch, and I'd like to see it now a little bit more.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say is that, and I agree with Desi on those passes, but the one thing that I think needs to be fixed is that I think Xerxes plays too many one-touch balls. Like, when the ball's coming into him, he's always trying to play over.
Chris, on that particular scenario, that is one touch. There's no 2 touch, 3 touch. That's nearly a scenario where Ruben Arman said, right, centre back, you come into the pocket, you're just laying off, 1 touch, bang, off to the midfielder, and what should naturally happen is the outside players should nearly be making runs inside, is what I would see. And look, again, I'm no fucking qualified coach, but that's what you would normally see. It would come in there, 1 touch, bang, because we said it about him. We had this conversation in not the last reaction, the one before that, where we were saying, Hoyland doesn't make the runs, but we were saying Sexy likes to drop into the pocket. I think Anram has noticed that he can walk something off that. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm wrong now. Maybe I'm totally wrong. But
it's a valid point. Yeah, it's a valid point. Chris,
I think
Chris, go on.
Chris is going to be really, really hard on any striker.
Right. Well, let's move off to strikers then. Chris, talking about Toby Collier, I thought he was brilliant tonight. I thought in the middle of the park, neat and tidy. His positional sense was really good, both defensively and backing up the play. He didn't look flustered on the ball, just done the simple things. What did you make of his performance?
I like it. I mean, he had one mistake, and it almost cost us one at the beginning of the game. So, I mean, with that, if we push that aside, I think he played really, really well. I mean, he stayed he stayed in the center of the park, and he supported, and he moved the ball, and it wasn't, he didn't take too many touches to move the ball, and he didn't make meaningless passes, and he wasn't, 5-yard pass to Bruno, only have it to come back. I mean, he was trying to find a switch, a move, and everything like that. Like he's trying to move the ball across. And I think, what did he say? Oh,
Sorry,
man.
I was going to, rather than read them out, I was just going to put them up. Chris just witnessed Trump being inaugurated, so everything after that is looking good.
Oh, it is. But, I mean, it's looking better. I don't know about good yet, but it's looking better. But at the same time, it's just one of those things where, I mean, I think he's going to get more playing time, and it's well-deserved if he plays this way. I mean, I think defensively, I was very, very surprised at how strong he was defensively, going in for tackles and everything like that. So, I mean, I do like it.
Yeah. Desi, just final point on Collier. Does it maybe mean that, have seen him there and seen him being able to come in like that we could potentially let Casemiro go in January if there is a suitor for him without having to actually replace him?
Get Casemiro rid of Jack.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's another player been. Yeah, look, Toby Collier was good tonight, but Rangers the best team, Jack.
Exactly. That's why I didn't celebrate the winning goal.
Can we say Toby Collier's a great player after that performance? Listen, he played well, but let's look at the opposition a little bit, and can he put it up against the bigger teams or the better sided teams that would look more threatening on the ball? We'll know more if he gives them more game time. But yes, it's looking good from him. I'd say get rid of Casemiro. Ericsson played well tonight.
Yeah.
And I still think he's a passenger, Jack. There's a lot of fixing to do in the squad.
Yeah.
But
I think just the emergence of, maybe the slight emergence, I would say, of Toby Collier over the last few weeks. Like he played in Anfield, he played it in the Emirates. Probably takes the pressure off to having to replace Casemiro. You could just let Casemiro go and not have to bring in somebody now that we know Collier can play a backup role maybe or a rotation role with the likes of Manu. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally
let's see what people are saying here. Party Pooper says a few good individual performances, but not great overall as a team. Paul says, I thought disgrace start to finish, going to take more than 2 or 3 players to fix this absolute shambles. Darryl says struggling to beat an absolute shite Rangers side. D says, after seeing the assets and liabilities, we're bringing absolutely nobody in to replace him. Most of that's going to balance the books. What else have we got? He also says Lukaku's a money laundering scheme and no one will convince me otherwise. All right, fair enough. He also says Desi and Chris politely agreeing there that we are utter shite. This mob couldn't get a result against Hibernian, for the love of Christ, and they've got players with day jobs. Yeah, there we go. I mean, one thing I wanted to maybe talk about a little bit, Chris, is the fact that Ruben Amorim changes the defence an awful lot, both from game to game and even in game. Do you think that's having an effect? Because look, we've all played the game at certain levels, whether it be amateur, whatever the case may be. You like to have a settled 11, don't you? Where you get to know the lads that are around you, you know their traits, you know maybe how to cover them. Are you a fan of this change, this constant change of the back three?
No, I'm not a fan of it, but I don't know. I mean, I'll give cause for pause just to see why he made the changes, because it looked like Euro picked up a knock. So okay, and I don't know if it kind of looked
like maybe it was going to be 45 minutes apiece for De Ligt and Maguire before the game even started.
It could be, and you know what? And that's, I mean, maybe it's because where we're sitting in the opposition that he wants to do it to save it for maybe Fulham, because he doesn't want to burn someone out from Thursday to Sunday. Because I mean, the Fulham's a big game for us because we need to get points there. Yeah. So I mean, do I love it? No. I mean, but I mean,
manly sickening me. Sorry.
Okay. No, but I mean, I just can't. I mean, I don't know, because like that tackle that sent the Rangers guy off that De Ligt was in, I don't know if that had any effect on De Ligt. That's the only reason why I paused, because I mean they both went in for the ball.
Pause. We've got a fucking positive stat for the first time in I don't know how long. Ruben Amorim is the the third. Sorry, I thought it said the first. All right, is the third Manchester United manager in history to win each of his first 3 games in European competitions after Sir Matt Busby in 1956 and Sir Alex Ferguson in 1990. That'll do me.
Is that like being the tallest midget in the room or what?
What?
Is that like being the tallest midget in the room or what? It's just like, it's a good
fucking
thing.
Clutching at straws here, lads. I mean, for fuck's sake, like, what else have we got?
Can we get the comparison of the opposition in those 3 matches, by any chance?
I mean, we made mistakes tonight, but I mean, I got to look at the game and say, I mean, we weren't pressuring a lot, very high and everything like that, but I thought we were pretty composed on the ball for the most part. I mean, Maguire had a howler, and I got to be honest, my man of the match is Bayender.
Yeah.
I mean, he made some saves tonight that, to be honest with you, I don't think Onana makes the save.
But my gripe here is like we've got 67% of the possession, all right, tonight. That was the official stat, okay? 67% of possession. And it took us a last minute goal to beat a Rangers side that are 18 points off of Celtic in the Scottish League, you know what I mean? Yeah,
Well, look, Jack, the first goal is a sloppy goal on their behalf.
Yeah.
We probably should be 2-0 up with O'Garty.
Mm-hmm.
Maguire, we should be another goal.
Yeah.
And that disallowed goal as well.
And that's a goal. So, look, as much as bad as it looks, that game could have looked a total different game had we got those 2, plus fucking the Licks goal that should have stood. We were
we haven't even mentioned the Licks goal. That should have been a goal because how many times has that happened in a box to us and no one ever calls it? Nothing ever happens to us.
Your man would have fucking fell over if he had a fat. It was that bad, like, so bad.
This fucking storm coming along blew him over.
Yeah, look, the way I look at the game is as much as close as it looked in the end, and yes, it would have been a complete and utter disaster. We did control the ball, as Chris said. I thought possession-wise we were brilliantly, but we should be 3 or 4-0 up, Jack. 3-0 up at least.
Yeah.
Before they score their goal.
Yeah.
And that's us playing bad, according to a lot of fans. So, we've room for improvement.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's why, Jack, that's why I said, I look at the game, I saw the game a little bit differently, like Desi said, because, again, we're not clinical. We all know we're not clinical. We know that. But at the same time, we should have been up. The Licks goal should have stood. Maguire had all he has to do is put that on net and it goes in.
It was some goal though, in fairness. The first touch and finish out of the rain, it was quality.
Well, the Rangers goal, I'm saying Maguire's goal in the first half. I mean, he should have scored. Yeah, sorry. On the header, he should have scored that. And I'll be honest with you, I'll throw it out there that when you see a guy go like this to a guy in the back,
yeah.
I mean, we've been called for less.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was saying. Like when you see the goal chalked off from our corner, the Delict one, there was less contact on that than there was with your man's 2 hands in the back of Harry Maguire when he went on and scored.
Yes, 100%. And that's why I kind of sit back and I go, it's just one of those. It's a shake your head moment at that point. I mean, I would have, if I was Ameren, I've been throwing water balls on the field. Because that's just. It's not right, and
is there a point where he will start doing that? I want to see him doing that.
No, I don't think he'll do that.
He is very composed, isn't he?
He's except for smashing the TV. But
I was delighted to hear that.
No, I was too. I loved every minute of it. But I think because the one thing he did say is that and I've not watched every Ameren presser, is that he never goes in on the refs. He really never does. Because what's that gonna? He looks at it as what's that really gonna do? It may make things worse for us at that point.
Yeah.
So Jack, what I want to say, right? There's been a lot of criticism in terms of the team and everything, and the expectations and.
Yeah.
What I think that we need to do as United fans, and I know this is probably not acceptable from United, but we need to be realistic here. These players have let us down time and time again. Now, the
Yeah.
only positive that I can see, Jack, is that since Amram has come in, last week was a disaster. There's no excuses, but we can see that we're starting to try and get the grips with the game. It
Yeah.
seems like we have a little bit more know-how of what we're doing. No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not perfect. It's not where we'd like it to be. We'd like to be going out tonight pure domination, blowing Rangers off the park. They shouldn't be threatening us at all. But like at the end of the day, this team hasn't proven that to us in I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
What's
And
that
that's
say?
what Amram said. He said we did well. We played better with the ball and more connections and speed with the ball. We lost control because of bad decisions, but they
Well,
did well. So,
Jack,
that's kind of what
if
you're
you
saying there.
Yes.
if you go back to like when Ten Hag, it was more of a kind of we go out and see how we get on sort of thing. Nobody
Yeah.
seemed to know what we were doing or what direction we were playing in, and that's what I would say is look at the team as a whole and say, are we actually playing better than what we were when Ten Hag was here? I would 100% say yes, we are. We're not great, but
Yeah.
what it's looking like he's doing something. There's
There's an
something
identity there.
Yes.
exactly, and that's what we've all asked for as United fans. So get behind them. I don't know how it's going to happen. There's loads of these fair play rules and all this bollocks, but I don't know how long it's going to take. Stick with this manager. Get
Yeah.
the right player profile in and watch what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to be honest. Like, I don't understand. And maybe it's just me, but if Ahmad can play the way he does, why can we not at a right wing back? Why can't Garnacho play the left wing back the same way? Like I just don't. As a
I think
player, like why not? Why can't you get that effort?
I think defensively Ahmad is miles ahead of Garnacho. In terms of winning duels, Garnacho wins no duels whatsoever.
No.
He literally wins no tackles.
I'd
And
actually love to see that stat, Jack, because I'd say it's very bad.
yeah, I'd say it's less than 20%, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
of,
it's not
of his
good.
duels that he wins, 50-50 duels. And you know the way Ahmed is, he's a little terrier, you know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
nipping at lads' heels, and for a small guy, he's got low centre of gravity. He just always seems to be not pushed off the ball, you know what I mean?
I mean, but then at that point, I mean, let me ask you, Jack. Do you wait on Garnacho to learn how to play a 10, or do you cash in?
Yeah, but you don't have to wait on Garnacho specifically for us to turn into a good team. You know what I mean? Garnacho is 20 years of age, you know. There's no need to get rid of a 20-year-old who's not at his potential yet. You know what I mean? And that has bucket loads of potential.
At what position?
Whatever position Ruben Amram wants him to learn. That's not for
Okay,
us to decide. And it looks like it's going to be the one in one of the tens.
I get
And
it.
I thought he'd done well tonight in the position that he's in. I think what he needs to get into his game, and I think Amram has him doing it, when we are in possession, he goes wide. He is that wide outlet, that inside left channel. And then you seen Malacia, when Malacia came on, he was tearing around the outside of him. And then I think where he needs to improve his game is positionally when we do lose the ball, when he gets back into them two number 10s. You know what I mean? And stay narrow and get into a 4 nearly across the, you know what I mean? Or a 2 in front of the midfield 4, you know. But
Okay.
Do you know what? Do you know what I think as well? I think that as much as Jack, I wouldn't like to see Garnacho go either. I think that this manager he lives in the now. He doesn't think about tomorrow. He doesn't think about next week or 3 years. He thinks about what's going to help the team right now.
Ruben on Garnacho staying. I don't know what will happen. Let's focus on the games. We have these players. Let's improve the team. Think about the players that are here. We don't know until the window is closed.
Yeah,
And I agree with that.
And listen, he is thinking of the team at all stages. He is thinking, how can I help the team in the present moment? And if it is the case where he has an input, I don't know, of saying, we need to get rid of him because I have someone else in mind, or whatever way it goes, he will do it because he needs the team to get better now, not tomorrow, not next week, not in 3 years. Now, I need what I need now, and he's probably gonna. He's going to get rid of the deadwood, Jack. Whether they're the up and coming best players in the world and they're not ready, it's not good enough for him right now. And that's what I think what's going to happen. And if we see Garnacho come out the door, there's going to be a lot of lads going, oh, this, that, and the other. But they have to have somebody to come in to suit Ruben Adams' system, and that's it.
Yeah.
No bottom line.
Are we? But Jack, let me ask this, because I mean, I agree with what you were saying about Garnacho to a point, but at the same time, are you going to be comfortable with the fact that, or is he going to be comfortable with the fact that, in learning how to play in the system, he may not start many games. He may have to go back to the bench in order to play. I mean, but he's got to accept that as a player, because we thrust him into this situation, and now he's got to kind of take a step back and relearn.
Well, the one thing I would say is that Garnacho is back down to earth a little bit here. You know, we go back to what we say about United, is that we're over-reliant on young players too much. Garnacho should never have been playing the amount of games he's been playing under Ten Hag over the last 2 years. Should nowhere near it. Look at Phil Foden. You know, probably a way more complete player than Garnacho at maybe 20 or 21. Took him 3 years to get into the Man City squad. You know what I mean? Now, they don't rely. They've obviously got better players and they don't need him to. But he ends up as League Player of the Year last year. Now, I'm not saying Garnacho is going to do the same thing. But
the club was in a much better position, Jack. The whole club for Foden to do that. We're not in that position.
Of course. Absolutely. 110%. And that's the way, Garnacho is used to playing week in, week out now, because we had to play him week in, week out under Ten Hag, because Anthony Martial was made of glass, and you know we couldn't get him on the pitch, and you know whatever the case may be. We're now down to probably a normal amount of game time for a 20-year-old of Garnacho's ability and potential ability and learning something new. So I have not, Garnacho is on small enough money. He seems to, from everything I've read, the only reason he's looking to go is because it's United that maybe are pushing to sell him. So he seems to want to stay at Manchester United. So if he wants to stay and he wants to learn and he's okay with all of that, then I don't see why it would be an issue.
I mean, I'll agree with you. If he wants to stay and learn, yes. But for some reason, I don't think he wants to stay and learn. I mean, it's real hard to be playing a lot under one manager, and then all of a sudden you're going to get the back seat.
The thing about it is that you look at when him and Rashford were both dropped for the squad against Man City. Garnacho was brought back in because his attitude was very good in training the following week. Yeah. And Rashford hasn't been in since, pretty much. You know what I mean? So,
Mia, let's say he goes tomorrow, do you think we'll be worse?
Yes. He's a 20-year-old who has 8 goals and 5 assists this season. I mean, you name me a player between now and the end of the season in this Manchester United squad who's going to get 8 goals and 5 assists. There isn't one. There literally isn't one. You know what I mean? So I do think we're worse. You know, and look, I look at Garnacho as, you know, he's an academy player. He's come through, but the ceiling is so high with him, I think, you know, and I just think it would be a terrible shame for us to fuck away a really good player just to balance the books because it's pure profit. You know what I mean?
And I don't want to do it because of pure profit. If I was to say to do it, it's to bring in a better player, a player that can impact now, like a player that would come in. And I'm not saying buy a 27, 28-year-old player, but you're going to buy someone that's going to be able to maybe do what you're asking him to do, that 8 goals and 5 assists and everything like that. And maybe you find that player. And I'll be honest with you, of all the stuff that I read, and you know I read a lot, and all these young kids that they want to bring in, the 20-year-old Dorgu and the kid from RB Salzburg that's 20 years old, that's not going to help right now. I'm sorry, you know. So
I agree.
That's why I say it's either got to be right now or later. You know, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what.
Who's the replacement, though?
Exactly.
I'll tell you one guy that I like.
If it's not just for pure profit, so it looks that way now. But have they got a trick up the sleeve that they're telling him that they have somebody? It's just not being mentioned.
Well, my concern is if we get rid of Garnacho and Rashford goes as well, and Anthony is out the door as well,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who the fuck are we replacing these 3 players with? Because we've got no business done in the opening 3.5 weeks. What are we going to get done in the last 8 days?
Well,
No,
Chris can play up front.
Huh?
I got a couple
Chris
names
can
out
play
there.
up front.
I mean, I think.
Boys, hold on now.
Honestly,
I played with Yapstam, all right? I think I'm the first one on the fucking list here, all right?
I mean, honestly, if those 3 players go, then I would I think the 2 guys I mentioned before, Dorgu and I think it's Douglas from RB Salzburg. I think those are 2 guys that will come in. And I'll tell you the sleeper guy that I like, and I know you're going to say it. Oh, it's the French league. Ryan Cherky. He plays a nice number 10.
That sounds like a breed of a dog. What was his name?
Ryan Cherky. Cherki.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
What I've read is that Olympic Lyonnais, or whatever they call themselves, is they only want like 19 million euros for him because they're in trouble. Lyon?
No, what age is he?
22 to 23.
What's his name?
Pretty sure.
Again?
Ryan Cherky. Look him up.
Cherki. Right, okay. If I type that into Google now and a big dirty image comes up, I swear to fuck, right?
No, I already got you once, Jack, and I can't top the Jack.
All right. Tell you what,
I got you once, so that's all. I'm good.
This is going to be a tough game on the weekend.
It's going to be a tough game.
You know, as much as I hope it said earlier on,
going to Craven Cottage.
Let's worry about that, lads. When we get there, you fucking one thing at a time here.
Is the weather that bad that you couldn't go, or what?
The weather is so there's a red warning from.
I don't know what that is.
The night. Like the wind is howling and rain outside at the moment. But yeah, I mean, it's funny if I can show you the. Let me see. So Ryanair is the budget airline.
Yeah, I've flown it,
and they are renowned for being absolute cheap skates, right? So wait to see this. I hope I can share this. I really hope I can. I can, right? So here's the picture, right? So that's so all of the red is all of the cancelled flights, right?
Yeah.
And all of the ones that don't have red beside them are all Ryanair flights. They're the only, like every single Ryanair flight is still on for tomorrow, but they're all going to get cancelled. Basically, what they'll try and do is they're going to try and get you into the airport, get you through security, and then get you to just stop and stay there. It happened to us in Malaga on a golf trip last year. We went through security, and then you go through a second part of security where there's no restaurants, bars, shops, anything. It's just gates, and we were there for 9 hours.
What?
And they told us absolutely nothing.
That way you didn't fly there today, was it?
That's what. Yeah, well, that was one of the main reasons. I have to be back on Friday. So I couldn't afford not to get home Friday. You know what I mean? So
I mean, we've had bad weather, literally northern Florida. And I don't know if you guys know Florida that much. Like it's always warm. It's everything. Northern Florida, the Panhandle, like Tallahassee, the northern part, 10 inches of snow for the first time ever. In Florida,
I heard of that actually. Yeah, I heard of that.
If you Google like Destin, Pensacola, Florida, you'll see snowbanks on the beach where the Gulf of Mexico is hitting the snowbank because it looks like Iceland.
It's such poetic justice. The fact that Trump gets into office, who says climate or global warming is not real, and then it snows in Florida.
Yeah.
Anyway. Enough about fucking politics and shite. Boys, I presume see you Sunday.
Yes.
I'll have a match preview and all ready to rock and roll. Even though I don't want to because score prediction's not going to be up. But boys, thanks for joining as always, and I'll chat to you the weekend. All right.
Yes. All right.
Appreciate it,
lads. See you guys.
Thanks everybody for watching as well, guys. Look, a good result in the end for Manchester United, 2-1. Even though we did do it the hard way, it puts us into a really good position now in the Europa League to automatically qualify, which is what we want. I do appreciate you watching, guys. Smash a like on the video. I'll be back in the morning with Talking Pints, so keep an eye out for that. Should be out about 11 o'clock. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Turn on notifications as well. And I'll chat to you tomorrow. Take it easy. Good luck.